How's it going, Nicki?
It's good. It's good. It's beautiful out here.
Yeah.
How's the food?
Yeah, you get food is amazing. The wine is equally as amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it's ideal. Yeah.
And then are you actually able to do a few things, or are you just on the beat the whole time?
Yeah, no, we went around on Tuesday, the day we got in. And then on Saturday is mostly a free day. So it may rain a bit here, but we'll be able to explore a bit. So yeah.
How was the flight? Are you good on flights, long flights? Because I can't do more than about 2 hours
on them. Yeah, I'm terrible on them. So the flight home should be interesting.
Right.
But yeah.
That's going to be longer. That'll be a longer one.
Nicky, are you surprised by the number of both Commanders and Dolphins fans you're seeing in Madrid? Because these teams are combined 6-14. They're going nowhere. But look, you can combine seeing an NFL game with the trip of a lifetime with your friends or family. So looks like good fan turnout, at least from what I'm seeing on Twitter.
Honestly, we're sort of south of downtown where we're staying, and then, being in Real Madrid City where they're practicing is in the northeast part, above Madrid. I haven't seen too many fans, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Downtown, you're starting to see a little bit more, especially as it gets closer. I think fans are really starting to come in, really started yesterday and today. So hopefully we see a bit more, but honestly, it's been kind of quiet. And I don't know if it's the market, if it's the teams, or, it's just too early for fans to be flying in. But yeah, I was hoping to see a little bit more, to be honest with you.
All right. So I saw some footage, you get these little snippets that you guys put out there, and I'm grateful for it that you guys put out on Twitter. Just a few moments of DQ and Joe Witt just kind of talking a little bit while the guys are warming up and everything. What's that dynamic been like? Has it appeared from afar kind of the same for you guys? And then how have the guys responded? What's been their sort of take on the change?
Yeah, I mean, it appears that they're, Joe Witt and DQ are still on really good terms. I mean, I think the fact that DQ decided to keep him on staff instead of, just firing him outright shows, one, his loyalty to Joe Witt, and maybe two, the rapport they have. I mean, they've been working together for quite some time now.
Right.
And I to Joe Witt's credit, I think he knew probably, we haven't talked to him yet, but I think he knew probably that, this was probably where things were headed. I mean, he could see how the defense was playing, and there's only so many things you can do at this point in the season. So, yeah, they seem to be on good terms. And the players, what they say publicly, they don't seem too fazed by it. I think a lot of them have been through this before, just having been in the league. But they don't seem too fazed. We'll see if it makes a difference on game day. You hope it does. Certainly the communication and just, putting players in the best spots to make plays.
Nicki, do you expect Witt to be on the staff next season, or is this the beginning of the end for him here in Washington?
Yeah, good question. At this point, to me, it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense, but Quinn has a different role in mind for him. I also don't know why Witt would necessarily want that. But again, they have a tighter relationship than I guess maybe others in that situation have. But at this point, I'd be surprised, honestly, if he is on staff next season. I mean, you think about it, you're getting demoted, and how many people usually stay after that,
Right. And he's in the circle now, and these guys all look out for each other, and they have friends in other places. Who knows where he could end up? What can we expect, reasonably? Maybe a few less breakdowns, maybe a couple extra, sort of surprise blitzes, blitz packages, stunts, that sort of thing. I mean, that's all I would know to do. I have no idea. What else could we expect differently?
Yeah, maybe have Bobby dropping coverage less. More stunts up front. It seems like it's felt like the line has been fairly static in the way they play. Static and somewhat predictable. So if they can get more games going, more stunts, I feel like maybe that could help up front. I mean, their pressure rate has plummeted since Dorrance Armstrong went out. And it's not like they started the season with a pass rush. When you lose 3 defensive ends, including one who's your sack leader, that's going to hurt. And they've used Luvu on the line a ton, but it hasn't really generated the pressure that, one would like, which of course affects the back end. And the back end wasn't all that great to begin with, the missed tackles. To me, kind of going off on a tangent here, I feel like the biggest losses to injuries were Will Harris and Austin Eckler. And, Will Harris is starting to work his way back. They opened his 21-day window to return from IR. But not having him on the back end has been really noticeable. And he came in because they didn't re-sign Jeremy Chin. So that safety position has been sort of a void for them, I feel like.
Yeah, they got so many holes for next year. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
And, you don't want to just sign 1-year guys who are 30 years old, 32 years old and get older.
But they can't fill all those holes.
But you can't fill all the holes in the draft.
Inevitably, that's what kind of happens.
Yeah. What are they going to do now that Amos is out again, another guy in the secondary? What are they going to do to try and stop Waddle and then Achane out of the backfield? He's really good and fast.
Yeah, that's going to be a big challenge for them. Because you would expect to see more Jonathan Jones, more Mike Cassina still out there. It's they got their hands full. That's where you can't excuse some of the things they've done performance-wise. And they'll never blame injuries, but there's no doubt the injuries have had a massive impact. Because I don't, just my opinion, I don't feel like this roster was built to sustain. I don't know that any roster was built to sustain this level of injuries, but even losing a few starters here and there, I don't know that they were built to sustain that.
Right.
Just because they are, like you said, older veterans, mostly on short-term deals, and, they don't have the depth. I mean, a lot of their young players, I understand why they built it the way they did, sort of the thinking going in, but it hurts them in situations like this.
It's just so bizarre how the league is, how things change week to week. We talked about it. I tweeted about it. It was just 4 or 5 weeks ago. If we don't fumble that game away against the Bears, what are we? We're 4-2. And next thing you know, we fumble that away. We lose 5 straight. Guys are getting fired. And, all hell breaks loose. How do they dig out of it at this point? This team was built. They knew the defense wasn't going to be great. They thought it'd be better. This team, though, was built around scoring. Last year was 28.5. They thought by adding Tunsil and by having Eckler and signing Debo and having Terry under contract that they'd increase that. We've lost a touchdown off the scoring. How do they dig out of it? At this point, we just gotta find a way to win a game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I think I was in the same vein that, one play can derail a season. I mean, think about last season. They won 6 games from the last play from scrimmage. So, those plays all went right. Now those plays are all going wrong for them. So they're going from one extreme to the other, from, 4-12, 12-5, and now they're back at 2023, basically. But, yeah, I think you got to get younger. You got to build up through the draft. And unfortunately, they need to get more draft picks. And that's going to be the challenge for Adam Peters is, I know there's some folks who wanted him to really make trades. Well, you got to have a partner who wants to make a trade and wants to acquire the talent you have for that to happen. And the fact that they didn't make a trade tells me that nobody was willing to give up enough to make it worth it. Because you got to factor in the comp pick formula. You're not going to just give up a player if you can get more when he walks in free agency through the compensatory pick, formula. So I don't think Adam Peters is the type to just sit on his hands and be like, no, we're just keeping everybody. I think he really did explore every avenue to try to get somebody or try to get picks. But the value just wasn't there.
Nicki, what can this team do about the running game? It's really fallen off since that Chargers game.
Did we lose her?
Nicki, you there?
I guess she was dumbfounded by the question.
No,
she had no answers.
We had some
much like the
issues in
Commanders.
the middle of it.
Yeah.
By the way, going back to that, Bill averaged 6.7 yards per carry against the Falcons and 7.9 against the Chargers.
And then what was it
Since then, he's at 3.6, 2.5, 2.8, 3.2, 2.7. Like
I just got to think
cut in half.
Yeah, I just got to think defensive coordinators are going, all right, let's box this up.
Right.
Make Jaden or Mariota beat us with those receivers.
Shut down the run
without Terry.
They saw how effective the run was against the Giants and the Raiders early in the season. Don't let that beat you, and dare Mariota to beat you.
Yeah,
probably a sound game plan.
It's just hard to figure out how they're going to dig out of this. Really hard. All right, here she is. Let's see.
Hey,
Nikki, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay,
about
cool.
that.
Sorry. Yeah, you're a few miles away. We understand.
All good.
So we were just JP's question was about the run game because the Bill averaged like 9 yards a carry against the Chargers, but then in the last 5 games, they're basically averaging about 3. Our defenses just kind of bottling up the run game and saying, Mariota and Jaden, you got to beat us with those receivers?
Basically, I mean, they've been playing more man. They've, loaded the box because there's no real threat at receiver. They've now lost, 5 receivers to injuries, with Burks now being out.
Mm-hmm. Which is insane.
I'm actually writing a story about it. It's like 20 combined games between those 5. So they don't have a consistent threat at receiver, so they can easily double, Debo or whoever their main pass catcher is at the time, load the box, and makes it really hard, especially for, a rookie back to find the holes. And that's another reason why I think Eckler was one of their biggest losses. I mean, he's somebody who seemed to always find space, and he would add another threat both in the run game and the pass game. So,
right. So getting back to the defensive coordinator thing, let's just say the Dolphins roll up 35 points and the move from Witt to DQ doesn't really help. Do you eventually see DQ giving it back to Witt, or is Witt done for the year at that position?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know how you go back at that point. And I don't know what the point would be, really. I mean, you already made the decision to change it. I mean, at that point, the season's kind of done.
Right.
I mean, I think at this point, they have better odds of getting the top pick in the draft than making the postseason.
Right.
Well, that's for sure.
Truly. So, yeah.
And would you expect Jaden to be back after the bye, so for that Bronco game?
Depends on if they win or lose this game, I think. And I hate to think like that. I mean, this is the kid's future. You don't want to be reckless, but if they win this game and, win it handily, then maybe they give it consideration, if he's indeed healthy enough then. But if not, there's no point. Don't risk. I think Quinn understood the blowback when he didn't pull him in that game, and I don't think he wants to go through that again.
So you actually could see them shutting him down for the year?
I do. I mean, if they're 3-8, do you want to see him back out there?
I just think he needs reps.
Yeah, I just think he needs
He's still
to
a young
grow.
player,
Keep growing. I do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know he's fragile, but I mean, we drafted a fragile guy. We just had, we've got to live with it.
But they are going to be. I mean, the Broncos do get after quarterbacks. They lead the league in sacks, I think.
Exactly.
And the Vikings get after quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, they got 2 meetings with the Eagles. They got Broncos, Vikings. Yeah, I don't know.
It is tough.
All right. Well, what do you got going on the rest of the day?
Quinn is going to talk shortly. We got practice in a bit, and yeah.
Okay.
Well,
and you guys said Terry's there, right? You see him going
Terry's
through
there.
workouts?
He's working on the side with a trainer. Noah's here. He's been working out with a trainer. They all traveled because the whole staff is here.
Right.
So, yeah.
Does Terry look like Terry, or is he kind of down?
He looks like Terry. I mean, we haven't had a chance to talk to him yet, but he's been running sprints on the sideline, so I feel like that's a good sign.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we need some reinforcements because I don't know how we're going to dig out of this. I mean, this was the one game we pointed to that you thought, okay, now it's even hard to figure out how they can even win this week.
I mean, the Dolphins looked impressive against the Bills, so if they have that same sort of effort, it's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough. All right, Nikki, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Be safe and have fun.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks for the time.
Noah Brown got a free trip out of this.
Yeah, he's still on the roster. He's still on the team.
I was doing some thinking after Cake said the farthest call in the rude guest hotline.
Yeah.
I believe Pete Haley called from France, so that would be farther.
Pretty close.
Good. Yeah.
And then I distinctly remember booking guests for the Olympics in Sochi and Tokyo.
Well, that's definitely further.
That's definitely.
Did we have Zverluga maybe when he was covering the Olympics? I don't know.
That might have been the Tokyo, and I remember we had some dude from some London Times.
Right.
Did Feinstein go to cover the Olympics? I think he used to like the Olympics, right?
I don't think he would go out to
No?
France or Sochi or.
Okay.
If it was drivable, he'd go.
Now that's the rude guest hotline because last year during the build up to the NFC Championship game, we had calls from Hong Kong and Vietnam.
Yeah, but those are listeners. Yeah.
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 Still using phones.
Yeah, using phones, but they weren't like guests. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. It's kind of gloomy, man. Just thinking about this game. It's going to be the early game.
You're going to be watching it on your phone.
I'll probably be watching my phone while we're driving.
On 95.
I mean, what's the point? I could stay and leave after.
No, you're not. You want to get home.
I just want to get home.
Yeah.
I mean, this game's going to be a dud.
You'll be watching like this.
I just hope we keep it competitive. JP and I we got to bet some sort of bet. They won't score 30, I think. Right? You and I
think I am betting the over or 30 and over. Or Cakes was there.
I have 30 plus.
Cakes is 30 plus.
Yes.
Me, Valdez and I need them under 30.
Yes. We need 29.
29.
Need 29 points.
Cakes and I have 2.5 punts.
Yeah, we got to bet too.
Hey, right now we're going to hook up caller number 10 at 1-800-636-1067. We're going to hook you up with the $50 gift card to Oseyo Korean Barbecue. That first sizzle says it all. Oseyo Korean Barbecue. It's in the Lansdowne Town Center. Bold flavor, premium meats, and house-made Korean sides that make every bite better. Oseyo means come on in. That's OSEYO. All you have to do to win that gift card is call us at 1-800-636-1067 and be caller number 10.